All right, so in all seriousness, I would like to share three things, three lessons, life lessons, three principles of life that I believe that are unchanging, regardless of what position you're in, regardless if you're in the military or not. And they may sound grim, but just bear with me a little bit, and it'll come full circle. The three things I'm going to talk about are death, failure, and family. And everybody just got all blue now. Death. When we think of death, we think it's a finality and all. What I've learned, and the date for this was 25 June 1996. Shortly after we flew and after I was mission ready, the SOC, we went to Dhahran Air Base in Saudi Arabia. And about 3 weeks from coming home, we were bombed by terrorist activities and Khobar bombings, the Khobar terror bombings. We lost 19 Americans that day, 500 injured, and we're all right there. Luckily, it was not our squadron that had the fatalities, but that really woke me up. And I remember running downstairs. We were on the 6th floor, running down with my rollerblades on, because that was the thing to do. We were playing roller hockey at night, about 11 at night, when the sun and the temperatures finally cooled down. But yeah, we were awoken by the terrorist activities. By the time we made it back in and everything settled, and trying to call home to Lori and to the folks at Sham and all the wives, they had seen it on CNN. And I know my family had seen that also. I was not injured. There were a lot that were, and it was a great story for another time. However, that really woke me up, and I was a lieutenant at the time, and it really made me realize how short life is and how precious life is. Steve Jobs said, "Death is very likely the single best invention of life." And so I say, and I talk about the lesson learned of death, not to bring it in a negative light, but to remember that remembering our own mortality and remembering that this life is short is probably the single best reminder that we can have that we need to take every second and every moment to impact other people's lives. If we can do that, regardless if you have a uniform on, regardless if you are what your job is, a parent or mother, leaving your best self in every moment is really what we strive for. Leaving a legacy. So I challenge each and every one of you to redefine death and not think of it as the ending, but as an opportunity and as a reminder to just take every moment and be the best influence you can on anyone and inspire others to do the same. Thank you. The second point is failure. Again, it sounds pretty dismal. The definition of failure is not achieving a desired goal. And the definition of success is achieving a given desired goal or outcome. Again, what I've learned through the years and even through these last 10 months is that failure is a choice that we make. Each and every individual makes the choice to fail. Failure is not given upon any of us. It may sound like that, it may feel like that, but until we decide to give up, if we decide to give up on our goals, on our vision, that's when we truly fail. And there may be times when we need to do that, but if we truly are willing to sacrifice what it takes to reach that goal that we've decided to do, then you can do that. So that's one of the things that I've always learned. I've learned perseverance. I've learned that you can achieve whatever goal you want to achieve. And I challenge anyone here that hasn't had any failures in life, even the general, correct? We all have. We've all fallen on our faces. We've all not gotten the jobs we wanted, the schools we wanted, the school elections we wanted, but that hasn't stopped us. And really, it's not how many times you fall, but how many times you get up, and every time you get up. So as long as you're moving forward and falling on your face, at least you're moving forward. So my second lesson is with failure. And I challenge you to redefine failure. Look at it as an opportunity and something that you decide to do. The third one, and leave the best for last, and possibly the most important one, is family. La familia. You've heard the stories of the Italians. We have a bunch of Italians from New York here. And I tell you, the upbringing that I've had with the meaning of family, how important that is. Anyone who's known me the last 25 years knows how the importance that I put upon family. And there are times when you make a decision. You make a decision for what's best for the family may not be best for the career. And that's something that I've lived with, and I've always tried to stay true to that. And I was not willing to sacrifice my family or friends to get ahead and stay true to myself. And wherever that brought me, I'd be happy with that. I know I can go to sleep at night I can look at my family and know I've done the best that I could be. You may have heard the saying of Balzano. That's the New York Italian. Hey, you're my paisan. Balzano literally means countryman, tribesman, clansman, if you will. And so that really, the family and the values that I just spoke about really transcend beyond your immediate family. In the military, I think we're blessed and we're honored because we have our own tribe. We go to a squadron, we go to a new wing, we have our own groups within that, flights. We have our own little sectors, whether security forces or maintenance or pilots. And so we have that immediate family. And the Air Force, one big family. And outside of that, honestly, I don't know. I spent the last 29 years since the academy in uniform, and that's all I've known. But I've seen outside, and I've seen the folks looking into the military, and I've got to tell you, that's probably the one thing that I know that they envy. Look at big corporate America, they envy what we have as military members, as service members. We're the 1%. Right? Look at the United States, 1% of all of the United States citizens have joined the military. So everyone in here is part of that 1% that's in uniform. But that tribesman, that countryman, that paisano, to me is one of the most important factors, because through those first two things, whether it's death, whether it's failure, whether it's the good times or bad, your family will always be there. We've learned in the fighter pilot world about wingmen. I relate that family concept to wingmen. And I believe that we all should be wingmen. We can be wingmen to each other. And the wingman concept is interesting because it's not a one-way street. The wingman is blind abreast in the fighter world, and we're looking over each other's shoulder, checking each other's 6 o'clock, because that's where we're vulnerable. And so the wingman concept is, I check your back and you check my back. It's not a one-sided way. So that's what I challenge each and every one of you to do, is be a good wingman. Both ways. Look out for somebody else and make sure you thank and have gratitude for those that are thanking you. So with this, I challenge you to not redefine family, but to stay true to the values of family, to wingmen, to your tribesmen, and to just do the right thing when it always counts. Speaking of family, the beautiful family that I have here, I consider you all my family. And once again, I can't thank you enough for how special it means to see the folks in this room that came out today. It is Military Spouse Appreciation Day, so I'm going to start by thanking my beautiful wife. And finally, I'd like to leave you with one quote that really has, I think, defined, that really hits home with kind of the three topics that I talked about. Einstein said, "Try not to become a man of success, but rather a man of value." And just like I talked about in the military, it's pretty easy to, on the surface, on the facade, define success by what kind of rank you have, how many stripes you have, how many stars you have. But we know that it only goes so far. And all of us that have been around know that it's not the rank that defines us. We know that it's the value that we bring and the inspiration that we bring to everyone. And that's what I hope to impart upon everyone that I come in contact to. So again, thank you so much. I will stop talking now and enjoy the day. So thank you.